Hey, I'm Jeremy Rickard. I'm a software engineer at Microsoft working on container secure supply chain projects. Today, we're going to talk to Toddy again a little bit more about the Notary project, and he's going to tell us about how you can use this in production use cases. So stay tuned for more. Hey, Toddy, last time you talked a little bit about plugins. Can you give us a little bit more information about that? How would I use this in production too? Like, I'm kind of curious. You really got me going with that last demo, and I want to know more now. So
the idea of the notation plugins is that actually you can develop a plugin to sign container images with keys stored in different locations, right? For a production setting, it is not good actually if you have the keys either on the developer machine or on the agent that is doing the CI/CD. So you want to have the signing keys secured somewhere in a HSM or some key management system that is either maintained by your company or by a cloud provider, or I don't know, maybe you want to actually have the keys put on a YubiKey. But the idea of the plugins is that you can develop all kind of plugins to pull the keys and do the signing with each one of those key management systems.
That sounds really cool. So Notary itself, or notation itself, doesn't know about all these things. You do all that through plugins?
Yes. So notation knows how to actually invoke the plugin, and the plugin can do all the magic to communicate with the KMS, to actually send the payload for signing, to do the signing, get it back, and put it in the envelope.
Nice. Last time you showed us how to do that with a local key. Can you show us how to do that with one of the plugins, or how to do the signing with one of the plugins?
Oh, yeah, sure. First thing, we need to install the plugin. So let me go through the process, actually, of installing the plugin. Again, I'll set up some environment. I'll have a temp directory to download some files. I have right now for my demo, I will use Azure Keyvault plugin, but there are other plugins, and we can talk about that after that. And I will have also the notation path and the install path for the plugin. So the plugins, they are stored under the notation main directory. So there is a plugins subfolder. And for my particular case, I'll install it under the Azure Keyvault plugin. Okay, so let's start with first downloading the binaries for the plugin. So our binaries also have checksums. When I download the plugin, I would like to also verify the plugin. So the first thing that I will do is I'll get the checksum file for the version of the plugin that I would like to download. The next thing is I will download the actual plugin, the version that I need. And this is a tar file that I will expand on my file system. Okay, I have the checksum downloaded and the plugin downloaded. I will actually verify that the plugin that I downloaded matches the checksum that is published by the Notary project community to make sure that something is not changed or tampered with. It seems that everything is okay. So the zip file matches the checksum that is given to me. The next thing that I will do is I will just expand the notation Azure Keyvault plugin into the folder under the notation. And now I have the following structure. So as you can see, I have the main notation folder here. Underneath, I have the plugins folder. And under the plugins, I have a folder for the Azure Keyvault plugin. And that's where the plugin lives, right? And if I list the plugins, you'll see that I already have it set up, right? So the only thing you need to do is just to copy the plugin in the appropriate location, and that's about it. So you have the plugin installed. Now you can start using the Azure Keyvault plugin for signing images.
Cool. Is the experience pretty much the same?
The experience for signing is pretty much the same. Now, I can jump to that. The thing is that each key management system has their own way to set up the key.
Okay.
So the first step I will go through is like how to set up the key for Azure Keyvault, but this can be different for other key management systems like AWS KMS or Venafi or HashiCorp. So that can be different. So let's look at how I can set up the key for Azure Keyvault. Again, setting up some environment variables. Here, actually, what I'm going to do is I will sign my application image, which in this particular case is the Flask sample image.
Mm-hmm.
And I will demonstrate, after we do the verification, how I can prevent also the test image that I signed last time in the previous episode from being verified.
Oh, cool.
Yeah. Let's go ahead and do that. Again, looking at what I have available, notation, I have the plugin, I have the application image version, and also I have the test image. So if you remember last time, you see two tags here, and the reason for that is that this is actually the tag that links the test image with the signature that we created in the previous episode. So that's why you see for the test image more than one tag.
Okay.
And I still have my test key on my machine, and because I may want to use it for more testing. But what I'm going to do now is I will go and configure the production key on my machine. So let's set up Azure Keyvault. So for Azure Keyvault, I need the Keyvault name. I need also the name of the key that I will store in this Keyvault, as well as the cert subject. And of course, I will create a subject, which is for myself for this demo only. Mm-hmm. The file that I'm creating is used by Azure Keyvault to generate the key. One important thing is that the key usage should be a digital signature. So depending on how you create the key in Azure Keyvault, you may or may not be able to use it for signing, because if it doesn't have signing capabilities, the key cannot be used for signing. So important thing to remember. Let's go and create the Azure Keyvault key. Okay, we have the key created. And the next thing that I'm going to do is I actually need to get a reference to this Azure Keyvault key. Okay. This is the reference to the remote key that is stored in Azure Keyvault. And I will use this reference to configure my Azure Keyvault plugin for notation. The simple command to do that is, after you set up everything for the key, the notation part only requires you to do key add the reference to the key, and select a name for the key and add the reference. That is how simple it is to add the key.
Cool.
And if I list the keys right now, you will see that I have my test key that we showed in the previous episode, as well as my new key, which is a remote key. Once again, important part is that for the test key is stored on my local file system, right? If somebody compromises my laptop, they can sign whatever they want with the key because they have access to the key. This is not the case with the remote key, because the remote key, I only have a reference, and only if I have actually the proper credentials to sign into Azure Keyvault, I can use this key for signing. Okay?
This is really cool. So you could do this in like a GitHub action or something as part of a release process.
Exactly. Yeah, nice. Yeah. You can do that in GitHub action or any other CI/CD pipeline, right? And as you remember from the previous episode, again, I just need to say notation sign, which key I want to use, and which image I want to sign. And that's about it, right? What is important also is that depending on the key reference, right, notation knows that it needs to invoke the Azure Keyvault plugin. Okay? So there is a mapping in notation that says for this particular key, when you try to sign with it, use this particular plugin, right? And if you have multiple plugins, right, depending on which key you want to use, it invokes the proper plugin there. Let's take a look again. So I have the application image. Here is my Flask sample, and we have the signature there. That's how you actually do the signing part.
Oh, that's really cool. Seems really simple, just like the local one. Just
the most complex part is actually configuring the keys, which as I said, so each system has their own way to do that. Do you want to look at the verification part?
Yeah, I'm really curious. Before you had referenced the cert, I think locally as part of the trust policy. How does that work here?
Yeah, that works actually the same way, because the certificate is not the secret, right? It's the public part of the key, and the certificate can be shared with every consumer that wants to verify what I have signed.
Oh, okay. So
Yeah.
if I'm shipping something and I want my users to be able to do that, I just have to also ship the public key somehow.
Yeah, you
Okay.
have to ship the public key, or you can post it on a website for downloading. What I do is actually Azure Keyvault has a way to pull this public key down, right? And you can do that one, but I would recommend that actually you distribute the public keys in a different way than actually allowing people to go and actually pull it down from Azure Keyvault.
Okay, that makes sense.
In my demo, though, I will go and actually get it downloaded from the Azure Keyvault, and this is what we are doing right now. So I will save it in a temporary folder in a PEM format as part of the download. Now it is saved here. The way to add the certificate for validation is we have a cert command in notation. So you need to say notation cert add, type of the store, the name under which you want to add it, and where the certificate is placed. So now I have configured my notation to know about this certificate. But as you remember in the previous time, we also need to configure a trust policy, right? Just downloading the certificate does not allow me to verify the images, because I don't have the policy whether I trust this certificate, right? Let's go ahead and do that. One thing I'll do is I'll remove the previous trust policy, because my previous trust policy tells me that I should trust my test certificate, and I don't want to do that for production. This is just for my machine, right? Ideally, in production, you don't trust the test keys that every developer is making, right?
Right. Hopefully.
Hopefully. Yes, that's correct. Yeah. It's exactly the same steps. I create a trust policy JSON. We talked about this last time. This time, the name of the trust policy will be different, and I will set that I actually apply this trust policy to my application repository. Maybe I should have made the example different, because I remember last time you asked me, can I have multiple trust policies? I should have left actually the test key trust policy, but just to trust for my test images,
Okay.
not for the production.
I'm following you.
Okay. I have everything ready. So I have the certificate or the public key. I have the trust policy. I can verify the application image. And as you can see, when I say notation verify application image, it says it's successfully verified. And let's give it a try for the test image right now. So if I try to verify the test image, of course, I will get error because I don't have a trust policy. So here is the error. Signature verification failed for the test image, because I don't have anything in the trust policy to say I trust the signatures that are created for the test image.
Oh, that's really cool. So
Yeah.
you could use this as part of like a way to enforce that your workloads are signed, probably in like a Kubernetes cluster, right? Like that would be a thing to do here.
Yeah, you can do that, and depending on like whether your, for example, Kubernetes cluster is a test cluster, you can actually create a policy only for images that are signed with a test certificate.
Oh, that's really.
If you have a production cluster, you can create a completely different policy and say, no, I don't trust anything like that developers or tests has signed. I only trust if somebody actually signed it with a valid production certificate.
That's really cool. What other kind of plugins are there? You showed us the Keyvault one. Are there plugins for other major cloud providers? I could also see that this would be really useful. Maybe if I have my own, I'm a big enterprise maybe, and we've got our own way of managing certificates. Is that something I could build a plugin for?
Yeah, they can build a plugin. So currently, Azure Keyvault is available. AWS published a couple of weeks ago their own plugin for AWS Signer. There is also HashiCorp plugin in the works.
Nice.
And we also got a couple of questions from Venafi. So folks in Venafi are also interested in developing a plugin, and I think they are working on that.
This seems like it would be a really good place to contribute if you were looking to contribute to the Notary project.
Absolutely, yeah. So we are open for any kind of contributions. So we have actually very interesting CNCF and Linux Foundation is running a mentorship program. So we have quite a few mentees that are contributing. One of them was also working on the HashiCorp plugin, but we also have ways to contribute to documentation, code for notation or notation libraries.
Nice. This was really interesting. I'm excited to dive a little bit more into this on my own and maybe try out some of these other plugins with my.
Yeah, certainly. And I'll be happy to talk with you more about how you can use that in, let's say, secure supply chain for software scenarios. So
nice.
Once you actually ensure that things are not tampered with, we can propagate things between registries and you can keep the signatures. It's very interesting and powerful scenarios that you can do.
You got me hooked. I'm interested in hearing more about that. So let's keep this conversation going.
Certainly.
Thanks, Toddy.